Zach Reinert. I'm from Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho.
And what's the name of your business?
Reinert Media.
How long have you all been in business?
8 years.
How many team members?
20.
And top line revenue?
2 million.
Do you know what stage of business you're in?
They say I'm a peak performer, but I don't know. We'll see about that. Question for the podcast. I'd love to learn more about best practices on when you terminate a person and notices, for example, or say they quit. Do you want them to fulfill a 2-week notice? Do you want to just walk them out the door? I'm sure it kind of changes based on what the issue was, but I would love to see from people that have just done it a lot more than me. I'd love to know what best practice is for letting people turn in a notice or not.
Good question, Zach. Okay, well, let's start with termination. Termination is a lengthy process. Several conversations, several opportunities to turn things around, unless it's an extreme situation. And we don't go straight to termination. We never just walk in and fire someone unless they've done something horrendous. I mean, if they steal, we just fire them. But most of the time, it's a performance issue. It's an attitude issue. It's something like that. So there's a lot of very direct, very kind conversations in private. Brendan, our CTO, taught a wonderful lesson at Entre Master Series, having difficult conversations. And sit down with a person and say, this is going to be a difficult conversation. You're not measuring up here, and I've got to help you get there, and we're going to work together to get you there. And nobody's getting fired today. But then later on, you can get down to where, we've been working on this for 6 months, and you're still not getting your job done. And so we're going to have to bring this to an end. Now, once you've done all that so that no one's surprised and you've given them coaching, you've given them every opportunity to turn the situation around, and the last day is finally here, this is not a lengthy conversation. At no point in this company in 35 years have I had a 1-hour firing. It's about 4 minutes. And by the way, my stomach gets all upset because I love people, and it's a hard thing to do to let people go, even if they've, because most of the time they've tried, they just couldn't turn it, or they don't give a crap, and, I'm the only one in the room that does give a crap or whatever, but I still don't. Being fired is hard. I got fired. I know what it feels like. So you don't take that lightly. If you love firing people, you're a bully. You got a problem. So all that to say, we've given all kinds of opportunity. There's no surprise. We've had discussions and conversations to the point that they see it coming. And it's not unusual for me to hear people say, well, I told my wife this morning when I was coming in that this was probably my last day. And when they walk in to sit down in the room for me to let them go, we've telegraphed this. It's so obvious that this is where we're going towards because we've not been able to make the changes needed for you to stay. So we just sit down and say that. Say, look, we gave it a shot, and you worked real hard, but we couldn't get there. And as we talked about in the last 2 times we met together, the last 6 times we met together, whatever it is, that this is what we had to fix this. We weren't able to fix it. And so the decision's been made that this is your last day. And I'm sorry, and we love you, and we're going to give you this package, this severance. What we're going to do is I'm going to call the guy in from HR, and he's going to help you. He's going to collect your keys and your laptops and any electronics you have and all that kind of thing. And all your passwords have been shut down already. And he's going to collect all that stuff. And then you can he's going to walk you to the parking lot. And so they just leave. And you can come back and clean out your desk. When folks aren't here, you can meet an HR person so that there's no walk of shame. We don't want to walk you down to your desk in front of everybody with a box. That's not fair. So we'll walk you out, and then you can call HR back, and you got some paperwork to sign in order to get the severance. And you need to collect your stuff, and you can come back after hours later in the week and do that, because I know right now you just need to get home and let your spouse know what's going on. And so HR collects their stuff, walks into the parking lot, they come back, sign paperwork, and you're done. It's very, very kind, very low-key. There's no voices raised. There's no cussing. There's no mean spirit. It's just quick. It's surgical. Then as far as handling someone giving notice, 90 something percent, 95, 98% of the time someone gives notice here, they give us a nice 2-week notice, which they should. That's classy. That's the right thing to do, is to give a good notice. But we almost never have someone walk it out. We appreciate that gesture on their part. That's nice of them. They took another job. They're getting whatever. But my theory is, when your spirit leaves the building, your body should go with it. And so you left. Why let the zombie hang around? It's a zombie employee. And so, no, it doesn't work. And by the way, very few people that stay during the 2 weeks have a lot of wonderful things to say. They left for a reason, some sort of dissatisfaction. And it's a very unusual person that can say only positive things during working out their notice. So why let them stay and poison the other people that are here? Well, I left because they don't pay. I left because George is an idiot as the leader. And they can't keep from saying stuff. It's just very difficult. And so, okay, I hate it. I don't want you to leave, but I understand. And so, and even if they're leaving for a good reason, like they're getting married and they're moving to Oklahoma or something, that's a good reason to leave. It's not because they're upset with the company in any way. You still don't have 2-week notice. The only time we keep someone longer than 12 hours after their notice is if they have particular knowledge of something that needs to get transferred before they leave. And that can almost always be done in 2 or 3 days. The number of times we've had someone actually sit in the seat and work out an entire notice is almost zero. Very close to zero. So we don't keep them around. When, they can't, most of the time, they can't keep from saying something negative. There's no accountability anymore. They're unplugged, and it shows. They're no longer part of the team. They've joined another team. And so it's in the spirit. You can feel it in the air. So when you give notice, we pretty well generally make that your last day. Because when your spirit leaves, your body should go with you. Now, we're not mad about it, but there's a lot of reasons for it, and I just gave them to you. So again, very surgical, very kind. Go, thank you for the notice. That's very nice. We'll pay you through the 2 weeks, by the way. You gave the notice. We'll pay you through the 2 weeks, but there's no need for you to come back. We'll go ahead and collect your keys and your electronics and so forth today and shut down your passwords. And so, you're not into our systems anymore in any way after that. And, I've had very few times that upsets someone. But honestly, if it upsets you, why are you leaving? I don't understand. That's kind of dumb. So it's just that tells me more about that person than it does about the idea. The idea is really clean. When things are done, they're done. The season's over. I'm not leaving. So I got to get back to work. That's how this works, y'all. So not any harder than that. Good question, though, Zach. Good question. Well done, sir. Appreciate you joining us.